Scrooge. Jacob Marley? No, that can't be. Ow!
Why, yours, Ebenezer. The richest man in the cemetery.
Please, nephew.
December 1983. Disney's about to release a Christmas special, starring a character they forgot existed for 30 years. The lead voice actor, they never called him. The animators, on strike, the movie, already spoiled in newspapers a year before release. And the two most powerful critics in America looked at the final product and said, "This is garbage." Before we expose what really happened, drop your location below. Where's everyone watching from? 20 facts about Mickey's Christmas Carol that'll make you question how this thing even survived. Oh, and stick around. We've got a bonus fact at the end that proves sometimes the experts are dead wrong. Let's dive into the madness. Fact 1. Back in 1974, Alan Young voiced Scrooge McDuck on a Disney record album. Perfect casting, right? Wrong. When Disney started production on the animated special, they didn't contact him. Why? They assumed he'd think voice acting was beneath him. Young only found out about the movie when a friend asked for audition tips. He called Disney himself. When they explained their reasoning, Young fired back. "Hey, I worked in television for 5 years with a talking horse. At this point in my career, nothing's beneath me." That self-roast landed him the gig, and he voiced Scrooge until his death in 2016. The man they almost ghosted became a Disney legend.
Scrooge. Jacob Marley? No, that can't be. Ow!
Fact 2. Mickey Mouse disappeared from theaters in 1953. For 3 decades, Disney's most iconic character was reduced to corporate logo status. When they finally brought him back in 1983, they marketed it as Mickey's triumphant return. But here's the kicker. Mickey barely appears in his own movie. He's a supporting character, Bob Cratchit, while Scrooge McDuck steals the entire show. Critics Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert gave it 2 thumbs down, with Siskel complaining there wasn't enough Mickey despite the title. Disney pulled the ultimate bait and switch. Mickey's name on the poster, Scrooge's stories on the screen. Classic Hollywood deception.
Good morning, Mr. Scrooge.
Cratchit, what are you doing with that piece of coal?
I was just trying to thaw out the ink.
Fact 3. An animator's strike in 1982 delayed production so badly that Disney had already published the complete comic strip adaptation in newspapers, October through December 1982. Readers followed the whole tale for 3 months, then waited another full year for the animated version to hit theaters in December 1983. CBS was so desperate they aired a random compilation called A Disney Christmas Gift instead. Imagine spoiling your own movie a year in advance because your team went on strike. That's chaos management at its finest.
Yes, what can I do for you two gentlemen?
Sir, we are soliciting funds for the indigent and destitute.
For the what?
We're collecting for the poor.
Oh.
Fact 4. Artist Michael Peraza designed the graveyard sequence with Pete shrouded in shadows, then revealed by lighting a cigar on Scrooge's tombstone. Brilliant, right? Disney execs panicked. A villain smoking on screen? Controversy incoming. Intense debates erupted. They almost axed it entirely. But Peraza fought hard and the scene survived. Ironically, that cigar-lit reveal became one of the most iconic and terrifying moments in Disney animation history. Kids who saw it are still traumatized, and it almost didn't exist because of tobacco optics.
Whose lonely grave is this?
Fact 5. Clarence Nash voiced Donald Duck for 50 years. At age 79, his voice was noticeably weaker in this film. This was his last theatrical performance before dying in 1985. And here's the haunting part. Nash was the only original voice actor left. Walt Disney, Pinto Colvig, Goofy, Bill Thompson, Scrooge, Cliff Edwards, Jiminy Cricket, and Billy Gilbert, Willie the Giant, had all passed away before production began. Nash was the last ghost of Disney's golden age, literally voicing a Christmas special surrounded by replacements. The end of an era captured on film.
I don't care. I said Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Well said, Master Fred.
Cratchit.
Fact 6. Mickey's Christmas Carol was a box office smash. Disney saw dollar signs, and more importantly, they saw Scrooge McDuck's potential. Production for DuckTales started almost immediately after this film's success. Alan Young returned as Scrooge's voice, and DuckTales became one of the most successful animated series of the 80s. Everything that followed, Darkwing Duck, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, Disney Afternoon Domination, traces back to this short. One tiny Christmas featurette accidentally built a syndication dynasty. Talk about legacy.
£50, 10 shillings from Macduff, plus his 80% interest, compounded daily. Money, money, money.
Fact 7. Glenn Keane, future genius behind Ariel, Beast, and Tarzan, was assigned Willie the Giant. His secret weapon, his 18-month-old child. Keane watched his toddler's clumsy, innocent movements and translated them into a towering supernatural being. That's why Willie feels oddly childlike, despite being massive and intimidating. One of animation's greatest artists literally turned his baby stumbles into Disney magic. The Ghost of Christmas Present was basically a giant toddler with food obsession, horrifying and adorable.
Why would the Ghost of Christmas Present, that's me, want to eat a distasteful little miser like you?
Fact 8. Director Bernie Mattinson pitched expanding the 24-minute short into a full feature. His big idea? Scrooge walks past a pet store every day, ignoring an eager Pluto in the window. At the end, reformed Scrooge buys Pluto for Tiny Tim. Cute, right? Executives killed it. Their reasoning? Christmas movies only screen during holidays. Not enough year-round profit for re-releases. So they kept it short and Pluto got erased from existence. Somewhere in an alternate universe, there's a 90-minute version with a Disney dog. We got robbed.
Yes, that was before you became a miserable miser, consumed by greed.
Well, nobody's perfect. And there.
Fact 9. Michael Peraza needed a creepy door knocker that transforms into Goofy's ghost face. Disney handed him an actual prop from the Bank of England set in Mary Poppins, 1964. He studied the real thing, then built physical models of Scrooge's entire house. Counting house, stairway, bedroom for animators to reference. This wasn't just drawing from imagination, it was architecture-level research. They treated a cartoon like a crime scene investigation. That door knocker has legitimate Hollywood history embedded in its design.
Marley, watch out for that first.
Fact 10. Glenn Keane, John Lasseter, Mark Henn, Randy Cartwright, Mike, and Patty Peraza. All of them provided uncredited background vocals in crowd scenes. These future animation titans, directors of Toy Story, The Little Mermaid, Tangled, were literally doing whatever grunt work necessary to finish the film. John Lasseter, while animating Jiminy Cricket, moonlighted as random townsperson number 7. Nobody got credit. They just did it. That's the pre-fame hustle nobody talks about. Legends doing unpaid voice cameos. Fact 11. The graveyard sequence, where Pete throws Scrooge into hell, was Disney's first trial of a new animation photo transfer process. They were literally experimenting with cutting-edge technology while creating nightmare fuel for children. The scene that scarred an entire generation was also a technical proving ground. Disney gambled on innovation during the darkest moment of the story, and it worked. That fiery grave became iconic precisely because the technology made it visceral. Trauma and progress hand in hand.
The richest man in the cemetery.
Please.
Fact 12. Look closely at the graveyard tombstones. You'll find names: Gladys Knight and the Pips, Bob Mills, Warren Oates, real performers, immortalized as background gags in a kid's movie. Most viewers never spotted them. It's a tribute, or maybe a morbid inside joke. Either way, Disney animators snuck deceased celebrities into a Christmas special and nobody said a word. The graveyard isn't just Scrooge's future, it's a hidden Hollywood memorial. Creepy, genius, both.
Aye, no mourners, no friends to bid him farewell.
Oh well, let's rest a minute before we fill it in, eh? But he ain't going nowhere.
Fact 13. John Lasseter didn't just voice crowds, he animated key moments. Specifically, Scrooge soaring over rooftops with Jiminy Cricket and scrambling to the top of Jiminy's open umbrella. That bit of physical comedy, pure Lasseter creativity. Years before Woody and Buzz, the Pixar visionary was crafting Disney magic in a Christmas short. That umbrella gag is a signature move from one of animation's greatest minds, and nobody knew it at the time. Fact 14. Patty Peraza animated snow gusts, fire, shadows, some of the film's most memorable effects. But she fell short of the required footage for official screen credit. By how much? About 10 feet of film. Literal seconds. After pouring artistry into the project, she was denied recognition because of an arbitrary threshold. Hollywood's cruelest joke: your work is in the movie, but your name isn't. That's the invisible labor behind every masterpiece.
I was your partner, Jacob Marley.
Marley, it is you.
Fact 15. The 1974 album had multiple songs, including one called How Christmas Ought to Be, sung by Scrooge. Director Bernie Mattinson wanted them all in the film. CEO Ron Miller vetoed everything except, "Oh, what a Merry Christmas Day." The movie that started as a full musical became almost entirely dialogue-driven. One executive decision stripped the entire soundtrack. Imagine if Disney Plus released the musical cut with all those lost songs. Someone needs to make that happen.
Oh, what a Merry Christmas Day. Hear the joyous music play.
Fact 16. Mickey's Christmas Carol and the Black Cauldron were the final productions in Disney's original Burbank animation building, the one Walt himself worked in. After that, the department moved to Glendale, and the old building became executive offices. This Christmas special was the last gasp of old Disney, made in the physical space where legends drew Snow White and Bambi. Then corporate took over the building. Symbolic? Absolutely. The end of an era, captured in 24 minutes.
9,973.
Fact 17. Horace Horsecollar, Clarabelle Cow. Characters who hadn't appeared in theatrical cartoons for decades. Disney needed Victorian-era personalities and scraped the bottom of their archive barrel. These weren't nostalgic cameos. They were desperation moves. Imagine being a forgotten cartoon horse and suddenly getting cast in Mickey's comeback film. Career resurrection via Christmas special. Some characters got second chances purely because Disney ran out of options.
You made your comment?
Of course I am. You know how much I like candied fruits with spiced sugar cakes.
Fact 18. Carl Barks, creator of Scrooge McDuck, painted an oil piece titled The Season to Be Jolly. Disney adapted it directly into the opening scene. The guy who invented the character in 1947 had his fine art turned into animation decades later. Full circle. Barks never expected his comic book duck to star in a theatrical Christmas special, let alone have his paintings become storyboards. Legacy doesn't get more meta than that.
Good morning, gentlemen. I've something for you.
20 gold sovereigns. Oh no!
Fact 19. When ABC Family aired the special, they made abrupt edits, cutting the chocolate pot roast with yogurt line and Marley's slapstick stairfall, complete with Goofy's signature holler. Why? Too silly? Too violent? Nobody knows. But censors decided Goofy's physical comedy and Willie the Giant's food puns were too dangerous for modern audiences. The irony, Pete throwing Scrooge into hell stayed in, but Goofy tripping got axed. That's network logic.
And don't forget the chocolate pot roast with pistachio. With yogurt.
Fact 20. Despite the title and promotional blitz about Mickey's big return, critic Colin Greenland nailed it. This is actually a Scrooge McDuck movie, with the effete rodent very much in a minor role as Bob Cratchit. Disney's most famous character was essentially a background extra in his own comeback film. The ultimate bait and switch. Fans expected Mickey magic. They got Scrooge McDuck origins, and honestly, Scrooge carried harder. Sometimes false advertising creates better art.
It's Christmas morning. I haven't missed it. The spirits have given me another chance.
Bonus fact. Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert gave Mickey's Christmas Carol 2 thumbs down. Siskel whined about not enough Mickey. Ebert complained it lacked the magic of visual animation and was a forced march through Dickens without irony. They trashed it. Meanwhile, audiences loved it. It got an Oscar nomination. It spawned Ducktales. It became a perennial holiday classic played annually for decades. Siskel and Ebert's worst take ever. Critics aren't always right. Sometimes they're spectacularly, hilariously wrong. It started as chaos, a strike, forgotten voice actors, rejected songs, and critics who hated it. But somehow, that beautiful disaster became a holiday legend. If you're obsessed with weird Hollywood secrets, behind-the-scenes madness, and the strange truth behind your favorite movies, hit that subscribe button because we're just getting warmed up. Drop your favorite Christmas movie in the comments. Let's see if it's weirder than this one. See you in the next video.